When a severe storm hits, hail and high-speed winds can cause excessive damage to your home. This can lead to blown-off shingles, broken windows, siding damage, and leaking inside. If you suspect your home has been hit with storm damage, contact CNN Construction today. We are a proud GAF Master Elite contractor offering free exterior home inspection for storm-related damages. CNN is a reputable licensed roofing and general contractor working hand-in-hand with insurance companies and homeowners every step of the way through the difficult claims and restoration process. We will meet with your insurance adjuster to discuss the damages to your property, the value of those repairs, and the scope of work needed at your home. Our skilled team has you covered and will leave your home looking brand new. Give us a call today at 844-415-ROOF or visit our website at cnroofs.com for a free exterior inspection. CNN Construction. We find the solutions, not the excuses.
Hang on a second, guys. One second.
What up?
We've got to give a shout out to South Nashville Heating and Cooling.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Friend and supporter, showing proof. Also, the longest running sponsor of I Got Some Shit to Say, the podcast.
Absolutely. Look, man, South Nashville Heating and Cooling, where quality and craftsmanship come together. They've been doing this since 1985. That's almost 40 years of service. Expert designs, quality installations, superior service.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you something.
What's that?
Tell me.
I feel confident in the fact that South Nashville Heating and Cooling will keep me warm in the winter.
For sure.
It'll keep me cool in the summer.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, these middle months, you'll be comfortable even then.
Absolutely, dude.
Y'all know the deal, man. South Nashville Heating and Cooling, we love those guys. Y'all see the name, y'all see the number. Tap in.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Always.
Damn.
It's I Got Some Shit to Say, the podcast, man. We're back like we don't stop because trust us, we never do. All we do is work. Y'all know me.
Fuck you, Squints.
That's right. R.I.P.
Whizzle Fizzle.
Forever and always. With me as usual, back in the corner, we got the one, the only ChadArmesTV.com.
Stomped.
That guy. And down here on the end, with me as usual as well, the
Handsome
one, the
self.
only. I don't know about all that.
Mildred.
Where's she at?
Where is Mildred at?
Golly, dude.
She's coming, man. She's coming. I'm telling you, she's coming.
Yeah, fun fact. He actually, fun fact real quick, he warned us about a
Pre-Mildred.
oh, there it was. We tried to name it, but we ain't got that far.
Pre-Mildred.
All right.
Mildred in training.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Hang on. We can't lose sight of something. We have another guest tonight, guys, and with us, a very special guest. One that I was almost unfamiliar with until I tapped the fuck in and realized how fucking familiar I really was.
Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Grammy award-winning producer with us this evening that goes by Coco Beats.
Coco the monster.
What up, what up?
Hell yeah, dude. This is dope, man.
This is so dope.
Yeah, it is.
STL Zone, all right? Originally from St. Louis?
Yeah, born and raised.
Woo, love it. So,
Coco the monster.
this guy, man,
Man, he
where
done,
do we start with this, man?
man, I'll say, man, that you done been a part of some key moments. The music
Key
you've been
moments.
a part of
Yeah, man.
has been a part of some key moments in my life, man. I tell you this.
Man,
some times and shit.
It's so
Yeah.
crazy. I had to
It's
mention
crazy.
to him before we got started, like right when he walked through the door, I had to mention like some key parts that I discovered about this gentleman before he pulled up this afternoon. But just for our listeners and watchers that are unfamiliar with the name Coco,
Coco the
as
monster.
far as the producer aspect goes, we're going to name off two joints right out the rip that's just going to initially put y'all in perspective about the gentleman sitting at this table. He is responsible for a record called Shake Your Tail Feathers by Murphy Lee. Anybody
Nelly.
familiar with that? And Nelly.
And P. Diddy.
Yeah, I
And
think
P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was featured on some movie
I heard of
soundtrack,
it.
Bad Boys 2.
Yeah, I heard it.
Right?
I heard
It's a pretty
it.
big
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
The record itself was a phenomenal force. I mean, number one, multiple weeks,
Yeah.
all that good shit, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Number one, man.
Yeah.
I got the other one. Here comes another major, just a heavy hitter. Over and over, Nelly featuring Tim McGraw.
Yep.
Boom. I think that it's five times platinum.
5 times.
I think it spent 8 consecutive weeks at number one.
It's crazy.
And it touched number one in 3 different genres. Pretty sure of that.
Let's get a round of applause.
Yeah, for sure. Now, calm down.
Settle down.
Yeah. Now, when we mention those two, I think it's important that we mention those two, KoKo, immediately, just because it just puts into perspective. Because when we talk producers, one like yourself, man, it's kind of like a behind the curtain, like a Wizard of Oz type scenario. Like, this guy's whipping out masterpieces, like major fucking hits for, numerous artists. Not just, but those two particularly are, those are notches on the belt that are pretty admirable, to say the least.
For sure.
What's that like, even being labeled
KoKo the monster?
a Grammy award-winning producer? That's a heavy fucking title, bro.
It is.
I still like it. It's crazy. I got the Grammy sitting on the studio or whatever, but it's surreal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely don't take it for granted, but it's something that it still really hasn't hit.
It changes everything.
Yeah, it changed my whole life.
Yeah. I can see how it could, though. And obviously, like, if you look up KoKo and you look up his discography,
we'll put his website in the description.
We should definitely do that. And at the top of, like, on KoKo's page, where it lists this list of accolades, just as far as involvement with production, like through his career. And at the top, you'll see those two records I just mentioned.
KoKo the monster.
But when you start scrolling, you're going to scroll for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there is just
some familiar shit.
Really familiar names from a lot of people. I mean, some people you guys have seen on this show to, just people across the country that you're familiar with as far as being musicians, artists, rappers, singers. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of mix of just crazy shit, bro, when it comes to your catalog. It's really impressive, man. It really is.
Man. Appreciate that, man.
And again, shame on me, but I love the fact that I didn't recognize who the fuck you were. I had no fucking clue. I literally, when you requested me the other day, I asked Chad after I already had you booked. Like, we had you booked, and I still didn't recognize who the fuck it was. I'm like, who is this guy? It says Graham. He's like, bro, that's who we're fucking. That's who's on the show this week. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, man.
Fast forward to this morning, and I go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Bruh,
It's
like,
big, man.
Yeah, it's big. It's really big.
Matter of fact, man, fuck it, man. Just call out some of them, man.
I mean, obviously those two. I did 5 joints on the Sweatsuit album.
Nelly.
And They Say was one of them,
And They
which
Say
is a
was
huge
one.
record.
Bubba Sparks,
Bubba K. Shout out Bubba K.
Frankie J, Master P, Waka, Juvie, Boosie, Mario, Tim McGraw, obviously. Scarface.
Talk your shit.
A lot of cats, man. I've been blessed with to work with. A lot of cats I grew up listening to.
Yeah.
I've got to meet and work with. So that's
KoKo the monster.
that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying?
That's a hell of a roster.
And then Tech Nine. Last few years, it's been a lot of country rap. Met a lot of great people through that lane. So
Yeah.
man, I'm just enjoying it. I'm glad I still got the fire after 20 years of doing it professionally. You know what I'm saying? And still wanting to create music. So
we're glad too.
yeah, man.
And well, fun fact too, like you had messaged me on Instagram in October, and I didn't even see. I didn't like hit you back until I hit you back the other day, or you'd have been on here months previous than that.
Oh, right on, man.
For
But when I
sure.
hit you back, it was on some like I didn't even realize that he had hit me up.
Well,
and then I sent him that message back.
shout out to
It would've
KoKo for
already
hitting
happened.
up Chad Arms, and then and it leading to this conversation because, like Chad said, bro, this would have happened a long time ago.
No, it would
had
have been
we
happening in
known.
October or November when you hit me. If I saw it.
Because before I want to jump into that rabbit hole I dove into this morning. But before I do, I want everybody to get kind of perspective about KoKo himself. Like we mentioned STL, born and raised. Where did the music start? You mentioned you've been doing this for 20 plus years, you know what I'm saying? But where did that start? Were you always a producer out the gate? Was there aspirations of being an artist? Like where did it happen and start for KoKo?
No, I mean, when I first got started, I was around 2 homies that I grew up with, J.E. and Wally. They were, J.E. was a DJ. Wally he rapped, I rapped. We were just having fun with it and goofing off.
KoKo the monster.
And then J.E., they took him from the DJ spot and put him in this studio that they had in a skating rink. And basically was like, yo, you want to learn how to produce? He said, sure. Picked that up, started learning how to do all that. And then, I didn't think I was great enough to do music. I thought you had to be musically trained and, be Mozart on the keys and all that stuff. I had no idea. So basically, as time went on and as he learned how to sequence beats and sample and all that stuff, they brought in a couple groups that he had the chance to develop or kind of like develop his sound around.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And the Ticks being one of them.
Shout out
Yeah.
St. Lunatics.
Yeah, so
What year was this? Just to give it like an idea, like time frame.
it's like 96.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then that's where the initial, like, as far as like a first group or something y'all started working on as far as a production team.
Yeah,
it was the St. Lunatics.
Yep. Well, Jay, that was like his bread and butter.
Yeah.
Like I said, back in the day, I was still trying to rap, finish school, whatever I had to do. I didn't really know what I was wanting to do.
Were you going by KoKo as a rapper?
Nah, man. See, I hate KoKo. I hate that name, but
Really?
you don't pick your nickname. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah.
You really don't.
So,
What was it then, though? I gotta ask.
What was your rap name?
Oh, no, it was KoKo.
Oh,
Okay,
was it?
you know.
Okay, so it was from earlier.
Yeah.
I got you.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But that's just, it's something that stuck. And I'm like, well, I'll just be that then. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows the name.
Yeah.
But,
He said he don't like his name.
I hate it.
Hate it. Really? Where'd it come from?
Well,
KoKo the monster.
we was at a party, and when we grew up with, there's probably like 6 Jaysons. And I remember someone saying, hey, Jayson, and everybody's kind of like, what's up? I'm like, man, this is stupid. Like, I'm going to start calling you Black Hoodie Man. I'm going to start calling you Headphones.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you drinking? I was drinking hot cocoa mix.
Oh, no.
And they,
Gotcha.
I think because I got mad about it, like, nah, don't call me that. That's
Yeah.
whack.
And it stuck even
And
more.
it stuck. And then people, eventually, as time went on, people were like, man, Jason Bridges? And they were like, nah, KoKo? Yeah, I know him. It's the same person. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck. Cool. It is what it is.
Well, at least you wasn't drinking like Sprite or something.
Yeah,
Man.
that wouldn't be cool.
At least he smartened up and he's KoKo.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
see-
COCOA.
Right,
The other
right.
story about that is
Right.
I spelled the KoKo because I got in a fight. These guys were trying to jump my friend, and I had a wiffle ball bat.
KoKo the
I didn't
monster.
knock them both out, but
Yeah.
I hit one of them pretty good.
Hell yeah.
And the other
Yeah, shout out
shot,
Wiffle Ball, dude.
Hell yeah. Shout out
Yeah.
Wiffle Ball.
little Mike Scott on the little box,
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
with the, go ahead, Chad. You got it?
No, so yeah, you talking about going through high school, you were still trying to figure out everything you was rapping. When did you start to gravitate towards like the beat making, or was it like
late, man. It was late.
Yeah,
I
okay.
watched Jay. It went from nothing to something overnight in 2000, right?
Yeah.
The Rams were winning the Super Bowl. Nelly's album drops. Me and Wally are kind of like, damn, where do we fit in? You know what I'm saying? Like, where did we get our? I'm happy for him, but I thought we was, as a group and like, what's our play?
KoKo the
And
monster.
I didn't start until 2003 making beats.
Oh, okay. That's a fun fact right there.
Yeah. So 3 years later, after Jay's on, and Basement Beats is doing their thing, I come in, but then Wally right after Jay had his moment from a song that me and Wally had wrote,
Okay.
and then the Ticks took it and basically did their song. So that was cool.
oh dope?
So
Yeah, that puts it a little bit more in perspective for me, honestly. Because, like I said, the rabbit hole I dove into this morning, I saw that KoKo was part of a 3-man duo named Basement Beats.
3-man team, yeah.
And then a 3-man duo. What? There's no such thing. Thanks.
all
But
good,
Same thing,
yeah,
same thing.
that's what Chad's for, bro. He catches me when I fall. But anyway, that part of the conversation was so like appealing to me because fun fact, man, back in 2000 when the Rams won the Super Bowl and Nelly's album just dropped, I saw Nelly's music for that. It was like hit or miss with Nelly especially when it came to like hip hop heads or just people that were just oversaturated in hip hop.
Oh yeah, KRS One was going back and forth with him.
You know what I mean? Nelly was
back
either
then or
like
something.
a gimmick or he was going to be somebody to be like a force to be reckoned with, just moving forward from just a whole different type of hip hop almost. You know what I mean? And coming from the Midwest and like that whole Midwest swing and shit
Man,
that he was
man.
preaching,
Man,
like the
the
country
dancing,
grammar, you know what I mean?
the-
Like all that.
All this shit.
I gravitated towards that so much where I was in my life at that time because I wasn't a gangster rapper and I knew I'd never be a gangster rapper, you know what I'm saying? But when Nelly came through talking more baseball and fucking, it just
But then country shit too, which is where we're from the South.
We're
so,
from
like,
the
we get
South, and it just all made so much more sense to me, and I loved Nelly as an artist.
yeah, just his cadence was new at the
Yeah.
time. You know what I'm saying? The singy songy, just fun music.
Fun. It brought a whole different aspect of fun
even with
to
the,
it.
Even with the beats,
Yes.
it was a different bounce to it. Like, okay,
Million
cool,
percent, dude. That whole sound was just-
I'm going down with it's catchy.
Yeah.
It's catchy as hell.
It was just a whole new sound, bro, and I really appreciated it and gravitated towards it initially. And like a fun fact, in high school, bro, my whole fucking shit my whole room was covered in album covers, like from pictures as small as like a stamp to posters 24 by 36 every inch. And I had 2 Technique fucking turntables and a half crate of records. Half of those records were fucking Nelly A and B's. Like it's just what it was. That was before I was rapping. But on every wall there was a 24 by 36 poster of one of my favorite artists. One of those walls was Nelly.
That's dope, man.
But jumping down that rabbit hole, I knew who Basement Beats was. I knew exactly who J.E. Epperson was. I knew exactly. And then to see your association with that company so early on in that brand, and for you to sit down later, a few hours later after I find this out, and you tell me that initially you were in there, but you didn't start really getting on the beats until 03. That's super important to this story too, because first, shout out J.E. Epperson to keep you like around and like you said, to write a record for the Ticks, and that sort of propelled you into this production category. I think that's dope as fuck.
Yeah, like I said,
So
we didn't know nothing what was going to happen out of that. You know, we was all friends that fell in. First of all, we became friends because of music, and it just went from there. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, man. And actually, fun fact, I was one of the ones. Me and Jay one day was at the studio alone one day when he was making Country Grammar, the beat, and we was the actually first ones to rap over it.
Whoa.
It's on cassette somewhere. I'll never show somebody.
That is fucking crazy.
But
I believe you.
It was my first song that I actually did in the booth. That's why
God, think about that, dude.
Cool.
And Country Grammar was recorded like 3 years before it actually like popped, right? Like it was going around the city and shit. It was part of the mixtape, and then like they remixed it and put it out like mainstream, and that's when shit got real. Certified Diamond 2 times over, I believe now. Country Grammar is
crazy.
That album.
But I remember when it hit down here, man. Like I believe still in the high school or something, or right out of high school, just around the time, whatnot. And it was a different bounce. You know what I'm saying? Just got a new old school it wasn't new. It was regular shit, but it was new to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We riding around listening to, you know what I'm saying, country grammars and everything else that was going on around at that time. But that was different.
What was the song in 03 that they picked up off you?
Tailfeather. So we had a group called Project Steadfast. It was kind of like a Linkin Park group, and it was J.E., me,
KoKo the monster,
one of my best friends, Jimmy Hargrove, that he was singing. He actually played the guitar and over too, but we were there. We were there one night, and I was just kicking it. We was in a session for the group, and Nelly happened to be over there with Ali, and they were going through beats with J.E. and Wally. And they was picking beats, but nothing like was really stand out. So at this time, I didn't even have an idea about the movie or anything. And I told him, I said, man, I started making beats. And he was like, yeah, right. I'm like, nah, for real, I'll go grab the CD. And I went and grabbed it. And the first track they played was the Tailfeather.
Start with that horn.
Well, the cop siren, I think, is what caught him, because Bad Boys, was the movie about the cops. I guess they're kind of cops, yeah.
That is how it started.
So it started like that, and they stood up and went crazy. And I'm like, cool, they like it. I had no idea that I'd be on a plane 3 days later, going to Puffy's studio and sitting there with him.
Oof. So, talk your shit.
Crazy,
what was that head trip like 3 days later as it all unfolded?
Exactly like a Dave Chappelle skit.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was wild. It's on camera somewhere, because he had a videographer then before the phones and all that stuff. So he had some big ass camera following everybody around, and he changed outfits like 3 times, and some chick was rubbing his back and reading off his sidekick, and he had 3 writers in the corner writing his verse, and it was just crazy, man.
Wow.
Surreal. I was more like just thrown back being in the studio with, this is where Biggie made his albums, or this is where,
Yeah,
of course.
That hit that core hip hop fan in you.
Yeah, man.
That's dope.
God, what a fucking ride. But he literally said that Nelly and Ali were going through beats with J.E., and he brung out, he said, bro, I got some beats too.
KoKo the monster.
And they like laughed at him saying, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And the first beat he played was what you guys now know, or what we all know today as Shake Your Tail Feathers.
Yeah.
Murphy Lee, Nelly, and P. Diddy.
Yeah.
I almost didn't save that beat, which is crazy.
Like anytime somebody play that beat though, the first thing they think about is the movie, and that's exactly how like, movies want it. You know what I mean?
It's attached.
Well, it won soundtrack song of the year too, didn't it?
Yeah, soundtrack song of the year, Grammy, #1. Like, it was a big song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that was my first. So I was like
God.
thrown off. Like,
That's wild.
That's why I bought the Bad Boys 2 soundtrack, because that's when I worked at Media Play and I was buying all the new stuff.
Shout out Media Play.
And when that song
That
came
song,
out, because
yeah.
that dropped before, did that drop before Murphy Lee's solo project?
no, it was for Murph's album.
Yeah.
and then they kind of just attached both of them.
Okay, I couldn't remember
made
which came out
sense.
first, but I think I may have. But yeah, that's that's super
did
fire.
Murphy have a solo project at the time of the Bad Boys 2?
Yeah, well, Murphy's Law
Murphy's
it just
Law.
dropped.
Okay,
right
gotcha.
around the same time.
Okay. That makes sense. Golly, dude.
Huge.
That's
Huge
crazy.
as
Out
fuck.
the gate though.
And then that
out the gate.
and then on a timeline strain, like from the Shaky Tail Feathers being the first one out the gate, that was 03.
03.
And then Over and Over, was that the second one?
Yeah, it was 04.
How does that happen?
But the Hot in Here remix was before that, wasn't it? The dirty versions when you
Yeah, it was.
that's kind of like a remix project.
Yeah.
on how that works.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned that one yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was a fun project.
The Hot in Here, the official Hot in Here remix.
Yeah.
on the
Coco on
dirty
that.
versions. Yeah,
Give me a fucking
But
break.
the Over and Over joint like that, I actually made that beat like when I had Tail Feather, I had like 20 beats. And that's it. Over and Over was actually made before Tail Feather. It was. I still had the first CD I've ever made with all like the beats or whatever.
Oh, man, that's so
Wow.
fire.
And now it won't play, but it's not because it's scratched. It's just because all these, I guess, players won't read the old format.
Formats.
So I'm just like, I can't even hear them.
Damn, that's crazy. Somebody needs to
Damn,
create some
dude.
shit that's
There
gonna
gotta be a way.
I gotta
Yeah.
get like an older machine.
that
Yeah.
or that. Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. So like going back to that, so when you did that song, like how did that come about? As far as did you just let Nelly's people hear it, and he liked it, or how did that work?
The Over and Over.
Yeah,
Coco the
No,
monster.
actually, we was working on Sweatsuit, and I had pulled it up, and I gave it to him. Well, we played it. We was in the studio, and he loved it, but he was just like, man, I just don't know what to do to this, but just put this to the side. I'm like, all right, cool. And then a couple weeks go by, we go back home. I actually get a call from my publisher because Luda wanted to buy it for what was his little artist name that was on like Pussy Poppin'? Lil Fade.
Oh, Shauna Lil Fate.
Yeah,
Lil Fate.
It was
Yeah.
Lil Fate.
He wanted the record for Lil Fate and offered to give me like 5 stacks, and he was going to jump on it as a feature, and I basically lied and said, it's already sold, you know what I'm saying? Because my intentions was, wait
Nelly.
a minute, because Nelly said he liked it.
Yeah.
Let me see what happens.
Yeah.
Right.
And then one day, Nelly calls me like 2 in the morning. He's like, come out to the house. Okay, so let me get up out the bed, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
I go out there, and he's got this dry erase board, and he's got stuff written on it. And one song said, finish song with Tim McGraw. I was like, what's this? I was like, what the hell? He's like, no, that's that one beat. And he played it. And when he played it, it was just him doing, the hook and everything.
Yeah.
Tim just kind of came in and re-sang it. But
Okay.
I was like, what? Like,
Yeah.
either this is going to tank or this is going to go huge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was a big move, man.
and that wasn't happening at the time. You wasn't
was
seeing
not.
country
It-
and rap
Bro,
blend like that.
It
bro.
was the first collaborative effort to that degree from 2 major artists. Like they were both at the peak of it. Could make or break you. You know, it really could.
Yeah.
It was a risky move, man.
was.
But it
But they
fucking
pulled
worked.
it off.
And I don't want to say you didn't see that at all yet, because Bubba had already dropped his first couple of albums by
Yeah.
then. But as far as like a rap artist and a big, huge country artist collaborating on the same
Yeah.
song,
Yeah.
it was one of the first. I'll say, what
Yeah.
you say?
And
For
it
sure.
came out of nowhere.
Yeah, bro.
Nobody
I
saw that
when,
coming.
when Sweat,
I know I didn't.
because originally, remember, Sweat and Suit were separate albums that you bought,
Yeah.
and then they kind of combined them together.
Right.
But I remember that was the whole reason I bought Suit, because it was the Tim McGraw one was on that one, right?
Yep.
That
Dude,
was the reason I bought it, just because of that feature.
fun fact. I listened to the record this morning over and over. Not literally, but that
song,
record. Yeah. And I listened to it on Tim McGraw's Greatest Hits.
Oh, yeah.
Volume
Yeah, bro.
2. It was like,
Hey,
That was awesome, too.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's
And
it.
what's
For sure.
even doper
Bro,
though is
come on.
on that. If y'all go on Apple Music right now and look at Tim McGraw Volume 2
Yeah.
Greatest Hits, Over and Over is song number 11, and it's the only song with a star next to it. Meaning it's the most played on that fucking Greatest Hits.
yeah.
Crazy, right?
That's fucking bananas.
Tim McGraw's got,
That's
countless like hits, bro.
Yeah,
That's-
he's got
that's-
some good ones on that.
And
for
it's
sure.
fire too, because that story, that's a great story too, because just imagine, it's just crazy how life works. Like not saying it wouldn't have done anything, but if say you would have sold that track to Fate Wilson and then he got Luda on it, it may have done something somewhat.
Yeah.
But
But
you
this-
not doing that just in the hopes that, and you just being loyal to Nelly because he said, hold it for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
There's definitely a level of loyalty there
For sure,
when
but
you held off.
look how the universe works,
Yeah,
dog,
man.
you know?
Can you kind of explain what it's like to be like the before and after of the Grammy? Like, what's it
It's
like
definitely a
before the
business
Grammy?
card. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get into a lot. Well, at that time when it first jumped off, I can get it in anywhere because I had a good publisher relationship with the deal I had. Basically, just give them a phone call and they're like, "Well, where you at?" In Atlanta. All right, cool. I'm gonna put you in the studio with so and so. Do you got beats for Beyonce? Do you got this and this? I wasn't even ready for that shit yet because my beat catalog wasn't stacked. I just started.
Right.
So.
Yeah. You had like a CD worth of beats.
I just started. I just started,
and I was learning still
I'm a Grammy winner, man. I just started.
Yeah.
I don't know. It hit me, and I was running.
That's a different type of story, Coco.
crazy.
Like real talk, but like that's to say that that is like lightning striking twice, man. Like that's just crazy as fuck to hear it come from you and you describe to us how that initial fucking 20 beats.
Well, not only that, too. Not only did you do those, but you even had a song on the Ballers video game.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Wishmaster. He lives here now.
I used to get beats from him on SoundClick, bro.
That's
I used to release beats from Wishmaster on SoundClick.
He's here now?
Yeah, he's here.
Damn, pull up.
We found out about him on us. Yeah, it was SoundClick or something.
Yeah.
And he had this artist that he worked with a lot from St. Louis named Jelly Joe. And then we met Wish and basically did a deal with him or whatever and just kind of put his beats with ours and shopped them and, got some placements or whatever, introduced him to people. He's a monster, man. But, so he had this opportunity and we did the soundtrack, not only throughout the game, but there was like a CD that came with the sound.
Yeah, I remember that,
Yeah, and I actually rapped on them.
KoKo the monster.
Pretty cool.
Oh, that's a fun
NBA
fact.
Ballers. The first NBA Ballers was so fire.
Yeah.
Dude. Y'all remember that game?
I do.
I remember.
Yeah, dude.
It was like a
Great, man.
blitz
That's dope.
for fucking basketball, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Blitz.
They had like a storyline, which is cool. So
Yeah. Didn't they do an NFL Street?
Yes.
Too? I never played those.
Did
but
they?
I-
Yeah, it was the same
did?
shit.
It was like a street version of football. It was like
Yeah.
4-on-4 or something.
That's crazy, the placement thing, or just the whole soundtrack part. But it's even crazier that you said that the soundtrack was included with that.
yeah.
So that means those records are out there.
So if you liked, when you played the game, you heard it. Now you can just take it in the ride. So that was cool.
Yeah.
That's super dope, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
I've always been interested in the placements on the video games. It seems like they're a lot different scenarios now as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're more exclusive now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as like
There's a lot of things you can't say and can say. Well, back then when we was doing NBA Ballers, I think I had to revise the 2 songs that I was on. We couldn't say certain stuff. Like you can't say blingy or you can't say Nike or you can't say, so you got to go back and do all these edits.
makes sense.
And so
Makes perfect
I guess
sense.
because of licensing. But
Yeah, especially through NBA.
Yeah.
It makes
That's dope. So like getting those placements, and then you started to kind of keep building the catalog up. Then you started doing a lot of stuff like for you're from the Midwest, so I guess like the Strange Music, Tech Nine, and all that stuff. Did that just come about with
KoKo the monster.
somebody that you knew through?
yeah, so at that time I didn't know much about tech. It was my publishing. He was signing my publishing company, and
Gotcha,
when I was out in LA one day, the guy Leo Williams was like, "Have you ever worked with Tech?" And I'm like, "Who's Tech?" And he's like, "Well, he's from Kansas City, and he kind of put me onto him." At that time, Tech was really just coming out with like I think Absolute Power or something.
Oh, that's like 02, 03. Yeah, same time you
Angelic, something like that.
Yep.
And I was like, man, dude can rap, like, for real. I was like,
Oh,
his to me, like, I don't know if I'm gonna listen to all of it because I don't know. I know he can rap. I just don't know if it's my type of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I met him at the Blue Note one night in Columbia, Missouri. He took his time out to meet me, Wish, and I think Wally or Jay or somebody. And I'll never forget it. It was like we come back there, we get past Trav. Trav's like, he's downstairs. We know about you guys coming, and just go ahead and go down there. And we walk down, and it's this grimy ass little basement, and there's like it's nothing but red lights, and he's sitting in the damn corner in like a king's chair, right? And he's sitting there, and he's like, "Welcome." And I'm like, "Welcome." I'm like, what the hell is going on? And he's
That's
like,
a little weird
but he
shit.
was the coolest cat. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
dude,
He
he's
was
super
so
cool. I've met
cool.
him twice. He's been cool as fuck.
I met him
both times.
once, but it was on real whoop whoop type shit.
Yeah, that vibe was just scary though. I'm like, what are we walking into?
For real. All the lights red. He's in the corner, and the king's
And
throne.
say welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Dude, I never, like I said,
Welcome to what?
I met him
doing
when
in
What's
here?
going on?
I met him when he was doing, I think Absolute Power was out, and he was opening for ICP.
Oh wow.
And he came and did a show here. He was an opener with Cottonmouth Kings and all them. This was probably 03, 04. And
Shout out
I went
to
and saw him in Nashville and went to his merch booth after he performed, and there was like 4 people at his merch booth. And we bought a shirt from him. I didn't have nothing for him to sign, so I had like, I don't know, a $1 bill that I had left in my wallet from where I spent all my money. He was like, man, I'll sign it. He sat there and talked to us like he knew us his whole life, but he was
KoKo the monster.
super cool, dude. And this was early on. This was opening up in Tech Nine. You know, now he's
Yeah.
selling out arenas and shit.
If you guys are ever out that way, man, and you guys get to experience the tour of Strangeland,
Yeah, I want to bad.
it's next level.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Yeah,
Shout out Strange Music. We recently had Jerry Robinson on here.
Yeah,
And
shout out to Jerry, man.
Yeah, Wish does all his stuff too.
Yeah, and
dope, yeah.
and when we have associations with, and we've met Tech a couple times and close associations with people that know him way better than we do. But yes, we long for that opportunity. I would love for the opportunity to walk through that whole.
Yeah, it's
Deal.
not one building. It's like a
Yeah.
city almost.
Yeah,
I heard it was like a campus.
Yeah, absolutely. Their merch game, bro, is the
I mean,
blueprint.
they changed the
exactly.
game, bro.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
and I know that you work with a lot of artists that work with Chris Calico, and that'd be somebody too that I'd love to get on here.
Oh,
Him
Chris
with
will
that.
come
We've
through.
talked to Ritz too. I know Ritz.
Yeah,
is
I
doing
hope
his
to
own
have
thing
Rich
now,
here
but-
in April.
Yeah,
Like
nice.
real talk.
And you did some stuff for him too. I know,
Yeah,
which
Rich
is
is
fire.
real cool. And Chris definitely will come through. Chris is real down to earth.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
love all
him
those
and
guys.
y'all are cool with him. Like he just did a song with Dusty, didn't he?
Yeah. About to drop. Video's been done for a couple weeks.
Shout out Dusty Lee.
Yeah.
But you know that kind of puts us in. I tell you what, we got a new sponsor. Let's hit this sponsor real quick. Y'all mind if we do that?
Yeah, let's hit this
Coco,
sponsor.
you in a hurry? Can we do
Let's
that
get
real
it,
quick?
man.
Cool.
Let's
We're
get
gonna hit the sponsor real quick. We're gonna come back. Y'all don't go nowhere because shit, dude. Coco Beats in the building. Don't move.
Coco the monster.
All right, it's I got shit to say. We're back. Damn it, back with Coco. We were cooking up something nice, man, and we had to get that new sponsor in. Shout out Sneaker City. But where were we? I think we just got done scratching the surface, basically, about how this guy got into it, and
Tech Nine. We talking about Strangeland. and
yeah,
we talking about that.
yeah, that's where we were. We would all love to visit Strangeland in the future, and then I don't know. We were going through the discography, and it was when I guess it was at the part where
Coco the monster.
we got to where the affiliation and the more current stuff, rather, just in the country rap genre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, that discography is very long, and it seems like as you scroll down on your website, it's probably half way down. Probably, wouldn't you say that we start seeing stuff like that? When did that kind of stuff happen?
I mean, it's probably like 19 or 20. I got with I was already working with Dusty on his rap stuff when he was rapping, and then I had contacts with Post Malone, met him, and we were gonna write a song
Flex.
for him.
Hell yeah.
Flex.
Major flex. Jesus.
At this time, Dusty was like, "I write a song," and then I had a couple tracks that I thought might have worked, and he came to St. Louis, sat in the studio, and he wrote it. And then when he was done, he's like, "Man, I kind of changed my mind. I don't know if I want to let that fly. I want to keep it." And I'm like, "You know what? We've been thinking about this. It's like it's probably more easy for you to run this lane, kind of singy, songy, guitars, 808s type, vibe.
Yeah.
I go, I think it fits you. Plus, you're from Louisville. I think you might have something." He's like, "Well, let's do a couple songs." You know what I'm saying? And at this time, we're like, let's just do it, man, and just see what happens. And we ended up doing a whole album, and it was the Kentucky and Jones album. And dude, he totally switched his whole lane up. And it just fits him more. It's more natural, and who he is as a person, his image, everything. It just works.
Yeah.
So
And that's another thing I was kind of unfamiliar with as far as your portfolio, really. So you were like really involved with that transition for Dusty, literally.
yeah, I mean, I already was friends with Bubba since like 04, 05, and he introduced me to Dusty when they were on a tour with Struggle or something. They came to St. Louis. I stopped through. Dusty being the person, he's extra about everything, wants to do everything, buy all the shots and all this, and that's kind of how we met. And then, we just started, exchanging beats and whatever, and he came to St. Louis, and the rest is history, man. Like, we're like best friends now, so.
Dope. That's super dope. We love that guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's super good dude, man.
Fun fact. He was on episode 17 of this podcast.
The Colonel.
The Colonel.
Oh, yeah.
Classic episode.
He is the Colonel.
We had a lot of fun on that episode. And since then, I mean, shit, dude, we've probably seen and came across Dusty on our path to where we are now at least half a dozen times, at least just in passing or at events and stuff. We missed a sit down with him at tailgates just because everybody was moving around chaotically, and it just didn't happen. But we love Dusty. Every time we see him, it's love, and there's talks about him coming back over here again. Hopefully, we have.
I tried to bring him, like I said today, but right in the middle.
Yeah, they were right in the middle of a record. He mentioned that through the door. Coco mentioned that, but it was discussed kind of earlier on in the week that Dusty could have pulled up today, even with not though we wanted Coco to be here regardless. But I think that's dope as fuck though. Your incorporation with him right now and currently and where he's at, and then to put a timeline on it though, to where that switch kind of happened for Dusty, and he focused more on this country rap lane, which seems to be a nice fit for Dusty Lee currently. And he's been a pretty aggressive force in that category for a while now, as far as touring and being on
he's
certain stages and whatnot.
Anybody outworks him. Like
dope.
I can call him right now. I think he's got 6 or 7 videos lined up on deck that's ready to release on schedule.
Hell yeah!
And he's always doing features, always just doing every kind of show he can.
Yep.
Always introducing me to people through him is really how I got in this lane heavy. Meeting Demon, meeting Adam, Broadnex, everybody, man.
Shout out to all those guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean,
Coco the monster.
kind of we swap networks. I introduced him to some people, some people that helped him.
Yeah, fun fact.
Yeah.
Our guy Coco's got a production credit that features a gentleman named Leroy Biggs too. We saw that in the discography.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard of him.
You know what I mean?
I heard of him.
Shout out to Lee Rizzle.
Shout out to Leroy
I never
Biggs.
met him. We worked indirectly, but I mess with him, man. Like I hope to get more with him soon.
We can make that happen. I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean?
For sure we can. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, shout out to the kid, man. But that's dope, and it just shows how deep you kind of are getting into it just by rattling off the 6-7 names you just threw out there. That kind of that's what I mean. That's the heavy hitters amongst this genre right now, and that says enough.
I've only been in this lane probably, I don't know, like I said, 3 or 4 years, and through them years, I mean, I know last year I probably had 30 placements. You know what I'm saying? Just throughout people, and then like you said, there's so many new people popping up in this genre I don't even know about still, and I'm learning about. So yeah, man, we're just running it and trying to get the respect on the lane.
Yeah, it makes sense, and I totally agree with you. There's so many people popping up, bro, because our DM, like my DMs personally, about once a week I get hit with a new country rap artist that seemingly has a pretty good following.
Yeah.
And I have no fucking clue who they are.
Yeah.
Not to put any names out there, but literally this happened to me yesterday, and I had no clue. And I'm like, damn,
Yeah,
kind of got something. But anyway, what was that transition like for you?
It was easy because that my favorite, like, I guess the sounds is a guitar in 808. Like I don't think that ever gets old to me.
Right.
And a lot of that when I was growing up through the Rap a Lot era, the UGK stuff like that was a lot of guitar influence.
The good shit.
Goody Mob, you know what I'm saying? Like just Southern. Really, that's country rap if you break it down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, they just put Southern rap on it, just kind of same difference, I think. But like all them twangy guitars, just heavy 808s.
I think that's the word though, the twangy. You know what I mean? The twangy sounds. You know what I mean? Like even with Goody Mob, like the substance of the lyrics were still gangsta essence. You know what I mean? Or hood essence, but there was still that twangy vibe to it that gave you exactly what you just described. I mean, that's I'd label that.
And obviously, when Bone Thugs did their country rap or country
Ghetto Cowboy.
Ghetto Cowboy.
Ghetto Cowboy. Yeah.
So
yes,
all the way back to Crucial Conflict. There's a lot of obviously Outkast, but Outkast got a lot of layers.
Field Mob and all.
Yeah, it's interesting to really look at the country rap genre and then incorporate it with those type artists you just named, because there's strong similarities as far as like the twanginess goes. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I love that word. Yeah. As far as like describing that sound, because I've admittedly outspokenly said that I had to be kind of thrown into that genre when we started this podcast based off the people we affiliate with. But I love staying back from it enough to where it stays new to me, and I don't just become biased with who I rock with when it comes to this country rap shit. But I'm still a tough critic. I really am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Chatty will co-sign that.
Yeah.
But going through the discography of the things you've had a hand in on.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Good shit.
And everybody I met, like through the genre, you know what I'm saying? It's been 100. You know what I'm saying? I got to learn more about it as well. Just going to the mud parks or going in the studios and just seeing what these artists are about. There's some spitters out there, man. I hate the word hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I hate just putting I hate dumbing the genre down. You know what I'm saying? When there's some people out there that's for real doing it.
Yeah. I almost hate to categorize it at all. Me personally,
I was just about to say that.
Like that's always been a thing with me. Is I hate fucking talking to difference, or if there is one. Like I don't. Man, it's still rap, bro.
We've been having country rap for a very long time, man. Even with the names that you said, you know what I mean? Classics, man. It's been around forever. And then what I don't like is when there's a certain color attached to it, they have to ostracize it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nah, fuck that, man. It's just still hip hop, man. It's still Southern rap. It's still country rap. And that should be hitting. Some of this should be hitting.
No, for sure.
It's some ass out there, just like everybody.
Oh yeah, every genre, good and bad.
Got some terrible shit. You know what I'm saying? But don't try to shit on some because it's new to you.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you want to try to separate. I hate that shit.
Put some respect on my name.
Yeah, no, for sure, bro, for sure. And then not only did you do, you linked with Dusty, then you started doing stuff for, Adam and Demon Jones, and you linked with Mako Music, and you linked with, but then you're still doing stuff with Crazy Bone, and you're still tapping, you're doing the country rap stuff, but you're also doing like
tapping into the
Midwest,
roots.
Midwest. You know what I'm saying? You're still doing that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, I just didn't, man. Not to whatever put it out there. I just submitted a bunch of stuff for the whole Death Row stuff with Dre, Snoop, and all them, and then Rihanna's album. Got a bunch of stuff over the writer, so I'm not stuck in this lane, but this lane is where I made a lot of friends.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying, and everybody that I've met has been good people. So like,
man, the path that you've been on, man, you're a made man at this point, really. Like you don't put in your dues. You don't accomplish things that most motherfuckers in doing what you're doing haven't accomplished.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Whatever I want to do. You know what I'm saying? No, but I keep it diplomatic, man. I stay humble. And that's just the key to it, man. It's music, and the network's everything. And like I said, everybody I've came across in this lane has been real cool.
KoKo the monster.
It's so different to me though, Coco. Your story though, bro, is so. It seems almost ass backwards. You know what I mean? To come out the gate and to come up underneath Basement Beats and to be like sideline personality type figure, and then transition to a producer once the group kind of blew up as a business.
Yeah.
And then out the gate have a Grammy fucking winning record.
Yeah.
With Shake Your Tail Feathers, and then over and over 8 times platinum or whatever it was, and then attached to that this long discography. I can't do it no justice by trying to name off the shit. We've covered up a lot of these artists you featured with, but we've missed at least a dozen, maybe 20. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think it's so dope though for you to use the diplomatic word and to say, to stay humble and to act, to carry yourself the way you do.
Yeah.
Because goddamn it, I would have walked through that door with that fucking Grammy on my shoulder. Goddamn it, I would have plopped that bitch right down the middle of the table
with a picture.
That Grammy,
a picture of the plaque on the front of the
that Grammy is more of a shot glass when people come over.
Hell yeah!
So people they'll see it. Can I do a shot out of it? And
hell yeah,
it's been dropped, not damaged, but it freaked me out a little bit. But that's just a thing now. Like when homies come over, like, man, we gotta drink it up.
Right.
So it's like a Stanley Cup or something.
That's dope. That's cool, man.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. Fuck, not many people have that type of trophy laying around, man.
Yeah.
And to lock. Go ahead, Chad.
My bad. So since we're speaking on the Grammy stuff, I got to ask another question about Over and Over Again. Okay. Can you take us through, like, with that being like the biggest record you've been a part of today, correct?
I think.
You want to give us you got any more fun facts or any more like stories behind like coming up with that track, how it came about?
Yeah, so at that time I was going through kind of like a rough relationship spell.
Yeah.
And my homie Jimmy that actually played guitar on Over and Over, it was in a band, my fault. He came over and I had showed him a track from Tupac, Never Had a Friend Like Me.
Love that record.
One of my favorites,
Love
from Pac.
it.
And
Gridlock soundtrack.
I showed him it, and he's like, "Man, I got this same riff. It's something like it. It's not really like it, but here, I'll just play it."
The guitar riff?
Yeah, and it was like 3-4 years old.
Really noticeable riff too.
Yeah, and so I was like, "Man, it's close, but whatever. Let's load it up and just see what it do." And yeah, man, the rest is history. And I just finished the beat or whatever. We redid everything live because at that time we was on an MPC and just plugging up his guitar. And then
Wow.
just pumping it to Nelly, man. Just giving it to him on CD.
I've never thought about that comparison until now. As far, and I'm really trying to pinpoint because I know Never Had a Friend Like Me starts out with Pac saying never, and doom, 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 doom. You hear the little guitar riff, and I may have just blew that out the water, but you know what I'm talking about. You know, it comes in with that, and then I think about the over, because I told you I listened to Over and Over literally start to finish earlier this morning, and you know it's guitar driven. That whole fucking record is just guitar driven, but I'm trying to think of how close of a comparison these two riffs are.
Yeah, it's just the bend in the guitar.
Right.
It's bluesy kind of.
But I never would have pinpointed that until you mentioned that moment. You know what I'm saying? And the nostalgia involved with that particular record, because I love that Tupac record. I'm a huge Tupac fan. Number one on my charts forever and always. But that one in particular stuck out to me because it was like a slept-on Pac record, because it was, I think it was only available on the Gridlock soundtrack. I may be wrong.
It was Gridlock, and then was towards it might have came out after he died. I'm not sure.
You know what I mean? Or in like with one of those lost tape shits or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I love that record personally, and yeah, that's so dope, bro. Super dope. Yeah, I'm glad Chad you asked that question, because now I have to, as soon as we're done here, I have to listen to both those beginnings of both those records.
Yeah, big inspiration.
I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, what a fucking story, dog. I'm so glad that you added Chad Arms as a friend whenever that was.
Yeah, it was a while. It was probably when we met.
It was
then I just reached out, like you said, was it October, November? Yeah,
like October, and it was just it was in like my request things underneath a bunch of like spam accounts, and I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it, and the reason I saw it is because I got off the phone with Broadnax, salute to Broadnax, and he was talking about you, so I searched you on Instagram. I was like, and then I went to go message you,
right?
And then I saw where you had already tried to reach out to me, so that's how it ended up working out.
That's how it works.
But,
that's so dope.
Yeah, salute to Broadnax, man.
Yeah, salute to Broadnax. Love that guy.
Yeah, Bubba. Yeah, Bubba.
That's family right there, bro.
Yeah, facts. Big
you
facts.
got a heater on the way too.
Oh yeah, he just shot the video yesterday, so it's coming.
And it's produced by Coco. Fun facts.
That's a great fact.
Yeah, man.
I have not at the time we're recording this, and they just told this out loud. They had mentioned it earlier off camera. And I heard them. I said to both of them, I was trying to stay out of their conversation, because I knew if I tried to stay away from their conversation off camera, our conversation would still be different here. Like I could still like inquire that.
Yeah.
And at the moment y'all said that, I still haven't heard Broadnax's new record. So I'm excited about Broadnax's new record.
Johnny, where you been?
Right.
Yeah, it's fire, dude. Like what he showed on, and I just brought that up because he showed it on his story, so I know that he's already let it out, that I
haven't even seen that yet.
Yeah,
but I love the fact that Broadnax has got a new record coming. But I love the fact even more because Coco produced it and he's with us today. And that's just one of those things, bro. It's like just one of those rocks I've kind of got to overturn as the days progressed and learn more about you as a producer, man. And wow,
yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like
That's
what
shit going on?
Yeah,
man.
dog. Even currently, you know what I mean? Yeah. But just the story attached to you, bro, and your name, and just some of the
KoKo the monster,
the shit you've been able to rattle off. It's had me in awe, bro, because like just where I was in those certain years when you were doing the things you were doing.
Yeah, man. Music's a time machine, man. It'll take you back, like you said. I know where I was when I heard it. I know what I was going through. I know who I was dating or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It just hits you like that.
Yeah.
So I love music, man.
And what's crazy about the timing of me hitting you up is like I spoke to Broadnax and then I hit you up to try to reach out about getting you on something after we talked and saw where you'd hit me up. And then you were like, "Oh yeah, just happens. We're going to be in Nashville in like 2 days."
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just kind of like
meant to be, bro.
It just was. The timing was just lined up. You know,
I love it,
which is dope.
Another fun fact. Here you go. I said, when we stopped at the break, I said, "Coco, you got some beats with you, bro?" He said, "Bro, come on, man. I keep them loaded, bro.
Keep them,
Stay strapped.
Stay
I don't leave
strapped."
home without it. That's like my Amex.
I said, "That's good, man, because these two guys over here are pretty good rappers, man, and they're always fucking hungry."
Oh yeah, we're always in looking for beats, man. Yeah.
With all that being said, be sure to be aware. When does this drop, Chad? When does Coco drop?
This will be Friday. This is going to be dropping on a Friday, so this is going to come out most likely on the 17th.
So that means March 24th, the return. Y'all already know O&E.
Yeah.
1 week away.
Pre-save
1 week away.
is in the description below.
Man, fuck with your boy, man. Rock with it, man. We hoping y'all love this right here. We taking it all the way.
We'll have to play you some records when we get off this episode before you leave.
We have to play you some records. One stemming from their collab project to Chad or wherever we go with that. But
happy St. Patrick's Day too.
Fuck yeah! Happy Patty Day.
Who got some St. Patty?
None of us got fucking green on.
I got I got my camo hey dudes on.
Hey bro, shout out Jackie Moon. We'll lose Coco. Hang on, we can't go too far out of
we got some camo.
Pocket.
We got some camo hey dudes given to us courtesy of
Jackie
his
Moon.
brother-in-law Jackie Moon.
The soldiers are in play. But
yeah,
dude. With all the fucking flowers you've been thrown this afternoon, I've loved the fact that you pulled up on us, bro.
Right on, man. Appreciate y'all having me.
But like I said, dude, I wanted to fan out on this one, man, and I'm glad that I had that opportunity, bro. But I'm glad it was kind of like short notice type. Wait a minute, what's happening type scenario because of literally the projects you've been involved with and the importance they had in my fucking life, like period, just where I was, bro. Because like I said, bro, I was a huge fucking Nelly fan coming up, bro, and
KoKo the
some
monster.
people thought that was weird.
Yeah,
shit, 20 million people didn't.
I was one of them people.
I was one of them too.
I was one of them
bumping,
people,
dude,
but I was swinging for
Nelly
Nelly,
dropped.
dog.
Nelly had some shit, man. They was hating on dude because he's pretty boy. You know what I'm saying?
The Band-Aid kind of
different,
fucked
you know
with
what I
him a
mean?
little bit. You know,
Batter Up changed the
Fuck
game with
that,
me,
man.
dog. When
Fuck that, man.
Batter that whole album. But you want to talk about before we get out of here? You want to talk about what you got going currently and what you got on the way?
Yeah, man. I mean,
that you can talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, working on some new stuff with Adam, his country stuff.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
He's got a couple projects that he's got in the pocket. I really can't speak on, but Broadnex, Dusty, we're just kind of doing singles right now. But like I said, the dude's probably like 7 videos, 7 singles out already.
Love it. Dusty, pull up.
Demon, I got a few with. I got a distribution situation. I'm probably gonna lean towards and go ahead and do.
Great.
Awesome, man.
More of a branding situation for me, and kind of doing like a rap country collab album.
All right.
Kind of like a DJ Khaled version, but just
Yeah, bro.
Love it.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
Gonna put some more steam on the lane, and then I always working, man. Like Nelly's one guy that always works. Like I know he's not with like a major or whatever, but like we still reach out every now and then, you know what I'm saying? And he stays recording songs. Like that guy is probably sitting on 200-300 songs easy.
Wow.
And as of lately, he's been reaching out to like some St. Louis kids that are coming up and doing features and stuff. So he's on the road doing his catalog, getting his bag. But he's also one of these days there's gonna be like a surprise album or albums, and it's all A-list stuff, man. It's quality.
Fuck he is, man.
So
I love that.
You got a crazy ass like discography, man.
Yeah.
Crazy ass.
And I just
keep building.
Keep building, you know what I'm saying? And like,
that business card getting long, bro.
Yeah, man.
It starts with a Grammy, but that motherfucker's getting long as shit, dude.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Just follow a Grammy up by 8 times platinum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then a catalog that's building itself continuously.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't know if y'all heard it a few minutes ago when he said he pitched records to fucking Death Row and their whole new fucking rollout.
Yeah.
And
Dre, I just need one with Dre. I'd do a backflip on
So
that.
Dre's gonna be involved with Snoop and the Death Row
Dre's
stuff?
got an album he's buttoning up, but he's also helping Snoop with the whole Death Row thing.
Oh my God, I didn't know that,
That's
bro.
hard. But hold on, though.
Come
Hold
on,
on, though.
dude.
You said Rihanna too.
I heard that. I don't even. Yeah.
Records to her writing camp, like
Still.
That's cool.
and that's where
That's cool.
it starts.
I can't get none to her. You know what I mean? For what it's worth, you know what I mean? That's just not an easy pitch.
She's probably
bro.
watching.
She is watching. That's
Hey,
guaranteed.
Riri.
What up, Riri?
Yeah.
I'm a little Uzi on you.
Yeah, most of them watch.
hit him with the shoulder.
Hell yeah, dude.
Little Uzi, bro. I don't know about.
Dude, I seen him at Rolling Loud, and
Yes.
that kid's a star. Like I
a superstar, bro.
don't bump his music, but when he came out to was it Rolling Loud in LA, packed, he came out and he had all this Rihanna stuff. Like I don't know what his shot was with her, but he had her all over the screen, a shirt. When that kid came out, man, these kids went nuts.
It went crazy, bro.
Especially that song, man. That as soon as the motherfucker dropped, dooch.
Oh, yeah, that just came out when he came out,
That
and
motherfucker go crazy. The whole crowd go nuts.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
He's
It's
crazy.
weird to me.
yeah,
it's not supposed to be for us though, man. It's out of our like. It's more geared towards like Kimura's age group.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
For
saying?
sure,
Teenagers
man.
and younger kids, man. Oh, yeah, NBA YoungBoy. I mean, I like some of his stuff, but there's a couple of Uzi Vert songs that I have on my playlist that are cool. I just don't dive into his stuff like everybody. You know, I do a lot of other.
I got
artists.
one or two.
He got some shit.
But
I don't even know the names of them, but I do have one or two Lil Uzi Vert songs on my like playlist that I mention all the time.
He's a fucking superstar, man.
I'm gonna let y'all hold that ball.
Sure.
Yeah, crazy.
He's rocking thousands and thousands, and them people are. I mean, they're fanning out like. You see him. You see some of them things. I mean, he gets followed like by like Michael Jackson's like status.
Iconic
chased.
shit.
Yeah,
like
bro,
iconic
he gets chased down, and
he just shut down New York City, man.
Yeah, dude. So you can't. I mean, you can do nothing but even if
Well,
you
it was
don't
rolling
like
loud
music.
again. They just did rolling.
I seen the one that he looked like a demon or something.
Exactly, bro. There's some shit going on right there. And then like recently,
he got
there's
some
some
questionable
footage
shit
going
going on.
around of some stuff that happened off camera, of announcements he was making to the crowd. And I'm mentioning this because I just saw this today. Chad, if you want to check it out, it's on Adam 20. It's on No Jumpers page right now. And they say that prior to like the record starting, he literally says some weird shit, man, about everybody's already a victim of what he's set out to be, and that we're all going to hell together.
Damn.
Oh, bro, he sold his soul for sure. I'm not taking any of that away.
Yeah, that's where you lose me.
That's
man.
a whole nother. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just talking about his star power.
Yeah,
he has a.
But he's definitely. I mean,
but like they say from like a trance perspective, this kid's like fucking dangerous. Like I can't. I'm scared to watch the fucking kid now. Be honest, Jesus Christ! And I saw pictures of him rolling loud. Like you said,
Uzi, man?
Bro, dude's hair's all
What up,
spiked,
Uzi?
and he's got 2 different contacts in and shit.
Man, think about it though, man.
The record's hot. I understand what you're saying, bro, but golly,
he's not even the most extreme when it comes to like.
Why you gotta be so extra, bro? Playboy Cardi.
Man,
that's the one.
Trippie Redd, man.
That one too.
No, what's the kid, the white kid that he's got like little baby dreads. He always wears white contacts. I think he was rolling with like FJ recently. What is his name?
I have no idea.
But he's like on a level of like Suicide Boys type vibes. But man, I'd have to pull up his name. But he's something to look at.
I mean, shout out to them though, man.
Yeah, that's a whole different way for me, man.
It's crazy fucking crowd, man. It's crazy fuck.
Oh yeah, he said. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is it? Does it say in text? What is this?
Says, hold on, let me explain something real quick. Before anybody starts screaming and saying, "Oh," like I told you earlier, he said, "You are enter the rapture. It ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now. Obviously, all you know that you're going to hell with me.
Damn.
So let's get it."
So let's get it. And then rolls.
He said, "Oh, you're already here. I'm so sorry. You can't get out. You're stuck. It's over.
You've heard it a million
You've
times.
heard the song a billion times, and you didn't even know that.
And then he says, "Let's get it." You know,
but I
whatever.
still like it or whatever.
Right? And then the record starts, and the crowd goes nuts.
Is that
Yeah,
but it's like, hold
is
up.
this a new joint or one of the old?
This is new. This was at the Rolling Loud just like last week or whatever.
I'm talking about the record. Is it
No, it's that one. The one you're talking about. Where
man, they go crazy.
But I tell you what, my thing with that is, it's not really any different than back in the day when people would go to a Black Sabbath concert and watch Ozzy Osbourne bite their head off a bat, bro.
Yeah.
Facts.
Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like he's saying a bunch of weird stuff, and like it's been like that for not in the rap genre, but in like the rock and metal genre. That's just kind of been
at that point, though. That's the level that he's at.
For sure, bro.
He's
I
a
mean,
rock star.
he put a diamond in the middle of his forehead, bro.
One that was worth like $20 million.
Yeah, bro.
I'm questioning that though. I don't know.
How much it was worth? It was like 10 or something. I don't think it was 20, but it was a lot.
It could. I mean,
Might
even
have just been all the way fake.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It could be just
Perception.
like
It could have been a crystal.
He could just say, "Put it out there that I spent $10 million on this diamond," and it could be a cubic.
Bro, did it like fall out or got ripped out of his face?
I mean, all them people
It was the
grabbing
top
him.
of a ring pop candy.
Yeah, that's what, about the size
And
of
it
it for real.
melted. Now it's not
That
there.
motherfucker was huge, though, man. So, you know, but damn.
Yeah, y'all are little Uzi Vert fans, not me.
Not,
That's what we established.
I don't ride around listening to Uzi.
No, I mean he's got.
Uzi,
he's a star, and he's got. We spent like 15 minutes on Uzi Vert. Like he's a star, and I've got a couple songs on his playlist. That's where I'll stay with it. I don't. I'm assuming
He's
he
the
sold his
devil.
soul. Yeah,
The devil.
what is it? Lucifer.
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 no, for sure.
Yeah, Lil Uzi Vert.
It's all
is
part.
Lucifer.
It's all part of. It's all part of his
pitch,
gimmick, bro.
I guess. Anyway,
Shout out to dude.
makes me scared.
Shout out to
ever
God,
attend-
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
shout out to God. I
Big GOD.
right? Makes me scared to go to Rolling Loud. Fuck that. It's like, you can't get out. It's like, whoa, hold up, bro. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't want to listen to this shit if that's what's happening. Fuck, I'd rather listen to Coco beats.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
We can do that too.
Yeah, we got to do that. Bro, like I said, man, it's been an honor having you. Sorry that we went down a little rabbit hole. But I was interested to get somebody's intake on that because I literally just saw that clip just earlier, like maybe an hour before you got here this afternoon. But I love the nostalgia attached to your story, bro. But the best part about your story currently, man, is it's not fucking over, and it's like sky's the limit, man. Like with the relationship, you mentioned it yourself, with the relationship you've been able to build over the course of your career, and having just now being in a state of almost independency to where you're like in control of your career, and still having ventures on the horizon that are still, you know, strong possibilities for you, man. That's exciting shit, man. And it's unfortunate that we've crossed paths so late. But I'm glad that we finally have crossed paths, man, and we've put out there how big of fans we are of you, and that you see us working as well. Because man, I hope to have you back soon after you got that resume gets even longer. You know, what I mean?
Man.
You come back anytime, and we'll throw more flowers for sure.
Appreciate that, man.
Like
I said, I'm just happy to keep that fire. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad it's still
KoKo the monster.
I'm not so much excited about new music like coming out just like without me involved. But like when I'm making music, I'm still excited. So
that's what's most important, bro.
It is, man.
It keeps you on your creative, you know, journey like with it. So
yeah, and you gotta keep on your toes, man. There's a lot of kids coming up that are just
crazy with it.
There's dogs out here, bro. There's some young dogs out here, dog.
Yeah, so I got
artists, producers, videographers, everything, bro.
And there's so many little tricks and stuff now. Like I mean, dude, if you know how to work that DAW that you got and you're a wizard with it. Like you don't even have to know no music. Yeah. Like people are drawing it. Like it's just there's so many tricks.
Yeah.
AI is going to be a problem.
AI is going to be a problem.
You have a platinum AI producer.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, dude. That's scary shit right there. That's a whole different rabbit hole.
They got AI that Chat GPT or whatever is like art of like you got AI writing jokes and you can make them write jokes in like the styles of certain comedians. If you said, "Hey, such and such, tell a joke from the perspective of Joe Rogan in about this," and it'll generate a fucking joke.
To fucking underage.
Some of it's kind of wonky at parts, but like it's like this. Or watch Theo tell a story about Theo Vaughn in middle school, and then it'll tell it like if Theo was telling a story.
That's crazy.
It's wild, and it does it in like 15 15 seconds.
Yeah, that is kind of a scary thought though from a producer's aspect, bro. Like as far as like at least mixing and mastering and that kind of shit, it seems like AI is like gonna be like we were watching like from it just before we get out of here. We were watching this fucking this AI software that's available now that will take your eyeball like if I'm looking over here at like this light and it'll make my eyeballs look right here at this fucking camera like nonstop, and it's AI generated, bro.
That's crazy.
I swear to God, this is not a boast of any. I shared it with Chad. I shared him a clip of this technology. And it's literally like a monthly subscription you can buy to where if you were a vlogger and you were just a bad habit about reading things off screen, cliff notes, whatever, it was an AI software that would take your eyeballs and lock them in on a fucking, and it's fake. It's computer generated.
But it's showing the side by side where somebody's looking over there.
Yes, the actual footage and then the re-rendered
and
AI
you can't even
footage.
tell, bro.
And that's not a human being sitting on the other side of a computer editing this. This is a fucking AI software that literally codes it, waves some magic wand in a computer and makes you look a different way.
Dude, so from the music side, have you seen to where they're typing in stuff in the Chat GPT or whatever? You know, make a verse from like Kendrick Lamar's perspective or whatever, and then they take that, copy and paste it into DuckGo or Duck something, and it's got voice processing.
And they can make fake Kendrick Lamar records.
Yeah. So once that gets developed, let's say 5 years from now, because it's kind of early. 5 years from now, you're not even gonna. There's somebody gonna, have features and stuff, and you're not even gonna know what's real, what's fake.
Yeah, there's gonna have to be some copyright laws coming out with that fucking voice infringement shit.
I'm gonna get a Chad Arms feature, and Chad don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, dude. What's crazy too? It's like one of my favorite podcasts that I watch is a podcast called Dudesy. It's DUDESY, right? It's Will Sasso, who's a comedian. He's been on tons of movies. It's him and his best friend, right? And the podcast is 100% generated by an AI. The AI has all of their passwords, all of their stuff, their emails, all their interests and all that, and it generates topics for them every show. It talks to them. They don't know when they go in. They don't know what they're fixing to talk about.
Wow.
It'll break it into segments, and it's dude, it's insane, dude.
That's fucking crazy.
It's insane, and it's funny as fuck because Will Sasso is hilarious. He's the one that does impressions. He's been around for 20 years. He was on Mad TV. It's him and his best friend, and they'll be sitting there talking, and they'll be like, "Welcome to Dudesy. Here's your topics for the day. Will, we need you to read excerpts from your diary in the voice of Hulk Hogan." And it's these made up stories that Will Sasso reads as Hulk Hogan.
What the fuck?
That's
so
crazy.
I think you've sent me clips of this
Yes,
show.
dude, it's fucking crazy.
But I didn't know that was the concept of the show, is that like the topics were AI generated. That's
And his friend is not a comedian. He's like a really like smart, nerded out guy, but he's really like in tune with like the AI and all that. So it's cool watching. And Will's just hilarious. But they butt heads about stuff. But it's crazy. They'll be like, read excerpts from your diary as Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he does a good like Arnold impersonation, and it'll be stuff like made up names from his child. Like it's insane, dude.
Damn.
shout out AI.
Yeah, and it's really starting to like get like traction under it.
That's wild, bro.
They're like on 50 episodes, but they don't know what they're gonna do.
Man. Shout out to
Yeah, they don't know what when they walk in. They don't know what the AI is gonna have for them to do.
Yeah, from that fucking the visual thing though, like I said, dude, sooner or later though, you're like people will be able to take like raw vocals and just submit them to some AI site, and it's going to come back crispy clean, like just the best mix.
You're seeing it in restaurants and stuff, and everything's like there's some AI like restaurants.
That's kind of started,
right?
eMaster.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
it's a.
I'm unfamiliar just because I'm not like I'm not tapped in as like being an artist anymore.
So you can take your song today that you do or whatever, gently mix it or whatever, as far as you can go here. Put it online to eMaster, and they do like a process.
The self-generated mix
wow.
that just
Okay.
So in reality, fun fact, our who houses our podcast, they have a feature for that you pay additional for as we distribute our podcast, and it's called Magic Mastering. And aside from the visual aspect of ChadArmesTV that most are watching right now, but if you're listening, in reality, the audio format of this podcast is actually better. Because we use a feature that they provide for an additional cost that provides a better fucking audio output. And
KoKo the monster.
I can never fucking argue that it's not worth it, because it is a noticeable difference.
well,
Like,
that's AI. I mean, that's just what
that
you're
is
talking about.
exactly like ultimately that's what that stems back to, is just
You're not telling
some
it what
AI stuff, man.
I've tried one of
Scary
those. I've
shit.
tried one of those online mastering sites.
Yeah.
but you have to keep in mind, you have to deliver your shit in a way to where that shit can really do something with it.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? It can't be no bullshit that you
Yeah.
submit off into it. It has to be something that it can work with. So I'm sure
Yeah.
there's some kind of stipulations.
When you
I'm sure,
when
yeah.
you make records currently, Coco, do you record and everything if possible, or you just submit beats?
No, I mean, I try to. The idea is to be there, but I mean, if I can't be there, then obviously emails or just it goes back to networking. If I can make a phone call or blast it through a text message, you know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10 it works. But yeah, being in the room and being there is awesome.
Got you.
But if I know I'm coming up like this weekend, I'm going to be working with whoever, I'll have in mind 10 tracks, you know what I'm saying, or I'll whip up 5 and then bring those with me. And if those don't work, then we're live. So,
Yeah, just
Gotcha.
you'll grab some, you'll cook up some that you
Yeah.
think fits that artist style. Yeah,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
yeah.
Do you enjoy recording like like that?
I don't like recording singers.
Gotcha.
I just get jaded when you hear the song 200 times on mess ups. You know, my excitement is making the track, and then when it comes down to mixing and mastering. And I don't do that necessarily. I go to my people, but I like being there and just kind of putting the sauce on it. But yeah, singers, man, I don't know. I get real bored. If they got 13 stacks and harmonies and this, I'm just like, man, I don't love engineering.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
I'm with you there.
I'm glad I asked that out loud too.
Yeah, some
honestly.
people are different. But
Yeah.
most producers wear all those hats now, so because everything's in the box and just on the laptop, and you kind of
Right.
know something about it.
Yeah,
So
hell yeah, dude.
It's been dope having you, Coco. But like I said, bro, as that catalog gets longer, man, please come back, because
Yeah, man.
I've enjoyed having you today, man. I'm glad I got the opportunity to meet you and just learn more about you and the craft that you've created and that you continue to create, and that yeah, man, it's interesting shit, bro. I really enjoyed having you today.
I appreciate it, man. Your platform y'all got is growing. You know what I'm saying? Wish nothing but the best for y'all, and hopefully it takes off to something to where it's bigger than what you expected it to be. You know,
Right. That's what we have
man.
aspirations
Appreciate it,
for.
man.
Trust me.
And we love to work. We love to work music wise too, man.
Yeah, we got to get into
tap
that
in with
before we
for
get
sure.
Coco out of here, and
Yeah,
before
for sure.
One's got to go because he's got to go soon too.
Yeah.
But just know, man, just like everybody else that's made it over here, bro. Once you get your butt in that chair, bro, it's yours anytime you got some shit to say, my friend.
Right
So
on.
anytime there's something that we need to be aware of, you feel free to come right back over here and we'll do this shit again because we can talk for hours. You know what I
right
mean?
on. Yeah, for sure.
Over and over, right?
Over and
Again.
over
Yep.
again.
Again.
Shout out Coco, man. Y'all check out all his stuff in the description below for sure, man. Tap into his website. Get a good glimpse of some of this shit we've been touching on this whole episode, man. Shout out to AI. And, yeah, that's it, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Right? Shout out ChadArmesTV back in the corner. O and E down here on the end.
Yeah.
I'm Squint615. Shout out Coco, our guest, man.
Right
It's
on.
I got some shit to say.com, ChadArmesTV.com. Chatty, get us out of here.
Shout out to people who doubted me. I wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for you. I knew it was in me, but you got it out of me. How does it feel to be part of the crew? Shout out to Pops, yeah, I know you proud of me. He said you gon' make it do what it do. This ain't no accident, more like a prophecy. As soon as he said it, I knew it was true. My niggas
Bitch, we got views.